into another episode of Matt's Sports Talk, and in this video we are going to be recapping the NAIA National Championship game from last night. Indiana Wesleyan advanced to that round after defeating Briarcliff in the Final Four. And last night's game, it was pretty much all Dordt through the first three quarters. Iowa went on a big run in the fourth quarter, cut it down to as little as 6, and then Dordt iced the game after that at the free throw line. But still, Iowa came up a little bit short. Final score 82-73. 82-73 in favor of the defenders of Dordt University. And looking at the stats, it was a pretty even game after the first quarter. Dordt had a 3-point lead after the first quarter. The big problem for Indiana Wesleyan was the second quarter. Indiana Wesleyan only scored 8 points in that quarter. That was the lowest number of points that they have scored in a quarter since, I believe, in the game against St. Francis at home back on February 8th, when the Wildcats were without one of their leading scorers, Lily Frazier, as she was out due to a wrist injury at that time. And now looking for Dordt, of course, for Indiana Wesleyan, they didn't shoot the ball bad at all. 41% from the field, 38 from beyond the arc, which really is not too terribly bad at all. The Wildcats were really good at the free throw line, converting 19 out of 23 attempts for 82%. The defenders of Dordt got to the line 27 times, only converted 18 of those for 66%. So you figure if Dordt scores 9 more points on free throws, they win the game by 18. So, I think you can pretty much say that it was a game that came down to free throws. And then, of course, you look at, and I will say before I share the full statistics from this game, my final official tournament bracket, I finished 42, I believe, let me actually grab my paper real quick since it's just out of shot. Yeah, I finished 42-21 overall in my tournament bracket, or my official women's basketball championship bracket. So 42-21, not bad at all. Of course, 0-1 in the final round, since I had Indiana Wesleyan beating Dordt, and Dordt ended up winning. But still, overall, not bad. Now, just in the suites, in the final site games in Sioux City, Iowa, I finished 11-4 just in games at the final site in Sioux City, Iowa. So again, for the very first year of doing this, not too bad at all, finishing 11-4 just at the final site alone. So not too shabby either. And now looking for Dordt, now the Wildcats shot 41 from the field, Dordt shot 61 from the field. And anytime a team shoots 60% or more from the field, you just have to pat them on the back and tell them that they did a great job, and you move on. And the defenders shot 40% from beyond the arc, so really not too bad at all. And then I alluded to their free throw percentage. But a big difference in the game was Macy Sievers for Dordt had a triple-double, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists, 4 steals, 7 of 8 at the free throw line, 8 of 14 from the floor, 2 and 3 from beyond the arc. And so, really not bad at all. And then, of course, one of their other leading scorers, Janie Van Donge, 7 of 7 shooting from the floor. So, really not bad at all. Another key player for them off the bench, Gracie Schoenhoven, 6 of 10 shooting, 7 of 11 from the charity stripe. And then, of course, other players that played good, Desta Hugendorn, 2 of 3 shooting with 2 steals and 3 rebounds. So, again, I know I typically stick to just recapping Crossroads schools, but since it's the NAIA, since it was for all the marbles, wanted to touch on some key players for the defenders. Also, some key defenders, Ellie Lems, 25 minutes of action, had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Van Donge, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. Olivia Harrison, 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 2 at the charity stripe with 1 rebound. I alluded to Macy Sievers. And then another key player for the defenders, Willow Bleeker, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 5 of that was from beyond the arc. 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 steals. And now looking at the stats for the Wildcats, they had a really big game from Maddie Lawrence, who Maddie put the whole team on her back. 3 of 10 shooting in her final game as a Wildcat in her 5th year of eligibility. 3 of 8 of that was from beyond the arc. She was a perfect 8 of 8 at the charity stripe, so obviously you'll take that all day if you're head coach Ethan Whaley, or well, not just if you're head coach Ethan Whaley, but if you're any head coach as far as that goes. Lawrence with 6 rebounds, 4 assists as well. And in her final game as a Wildcat, Izzy Reed struggled shooting just 1 of 4, which was from beyond the arc. She did have 1 assist. And another big game from Emily Mattingly. Boy, what a difference Emily has made. 20 minutes of action, 3 of 7 shooting, 3 of 6 of that was from beyond the arc. 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. And potentially in her final game as the Lady Wildcat, we don't know for sure 100%, but apparently the announcers of the game last night said that Taylor Folkema is undecided if she's going to come back to IWU next year or not. She's, of course, she's getting married this summer, so we're not totally sure if she's going to come back. But if she does, you know, she could really be a big boost to the Wildcat offense next year. But for Folkema last night in her potential final game as a Wildcat, 3 of 7 shooting, 7 of 9 at the charity stripe, a double-double with 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. And then in her final game as a Wildcat, Lily Frazier struggled shooting just 3 points, 1 of 6 shooting, 1 of 2 at the charity stripe, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. And for Frazier, she ends her career as the all-time steals leader at Indiana Wesleyan, and we're pretty sure ends her career as the leader in assists and the leader in all-time assists as well. So a big congratulations to Lily for that incredible achievement. And what's interesting is she was out 8 games this year due to injury, and despite that, she still set the steals record and still, we're fairly sure, set the assist record as well. So again, being out for 8 games, really, really impressive. And you look at Indiana Wesleyan's final stats, 34-3, the most wins they've had since the 2012/13 season, the fewest losses that they've had also since that season when they had 3 losses. They advanced to the championship game for the first time also since that season, and for the first time under head coach Ethan Whaley, have the most amount of wins under Coach Whaley, and have the fewest amount of losses under Coach Whaley. And outside of that, Indiana Wesleyan, with everybody fully healthy this year, finished 33-1 with a fully healthy roster. So again, to go 33-1 with all your players fully healthy is just absolutely amazing. And since Lily Frazier returned after that Crossroads League tournament quarterfinal game against Goshen, that was her first game back from injury. Since starting on that night, the Wildcats ended the season going 8-1 during that stretch, and of course their loss coming in the final game of the year last night. So really, really amazing to see that. Other key stats for the Wildcats last night: Jade Nutley in 22 minutes of action, 6 of 8 shooting to end her career as a Lady Wildcat. So big congratulations to her. 2 of 2 from the charity stripe with 1 rebound and 1 steal. Tori Thompson, 15 minutes of action. Boy, Tori has definitely earned her way into a starting rotation next year, at least I think so. 2 of 5 shooting last night in just 15 minutes of action. 2 of 4 of that was from beyond the arc. And then Corin Grivey, I think for Corin, she also, in my opinion, has definitely earned the starting role for next year. In just 5 minutes of action, 2 of 3 shooting, which was all from beyond the arc. And then Bria Garber, who's been playing with a ACL injury, in 10 minutes of action, 0 of 1 shooting, but she did have 1 rebound. And then other players that were able to come in and play in the last few seconds: freshman forward Haley Amy, as well as sophomore guard Kylie Bettinger, freshman guard Ellie Kelleher, and freshman guard Chloe Graham. So those were all of the players for the Wildcats that at least got a little bit of playing time. And that was your matchup there. And with that, that ends the official game recaps of the Crossroads League schools for the 2024/25 season. And since I've started doing these game recaps back in January, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that has followed me during that time, not just on my Spotify podcast website, which I will be going back to, I believe, either tomorrow or Friday, recording an episode talking about the top 25 Crossroads League scoring leaders and points per game from this season. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that episode, and you can find me there on Spotify for creators at Matt's Sports Talk, and then click on a picture of a basketball, and you'll find my name there, Matt Harden, and you can give me a follow there so you're first notified whenever I upload new episodes. And I'm also planning on trying to share them to my Twitter page for my Twitter, or not Twitter, it's actually called X. I'm still old school, so I call it Twitter, but I'm going to be posting links to each episode I record from my account on X, and you can follow me on X at Matt J. Harden, all in lowercase, so make sure that you give me a follow there. And you can also find me on social media as well. Of course, I'll just give you my X, I'll give you my information, give me a follow on X, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at mharden24, and again, that's all in lowercase, so you can give me a follow there as well. So you can, of course, I don't know if I don't think I'll be able to share any links to my Spotify podcast from Instagram. I definitely know I can do that from X. So that is really the best, probably more than likely the best social media site that you can follow me at in order to see links when I publish new episodes. So again, you can find me on X at Matt J. Harden, all in lowercase lettering, of course. And if you wanted to give me a follow on Instagram, I don't typically post a lot on Instagram. I typically post just a few, maybe a couple pictures per year. I'm gonna try to create on Instagram. I don't know, but I don't think I'll be able to do that. I'll just leave that to my Facebook page for my Iowa WBB 2024/25 album. But in terms of, feel free to give me a follow on Instagram. I typically like and comment on other schools and Crossroads League players from those other Crossroads schools, just encouraging them. So definitely give me a follow on Instagram as well at mharden24. And again, that's all in lowercase lettering as well. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to all these episodes of Matt's Sports Talk over the last nearly 2.5 months. And it's been a lot of fun. And of course, I'll be back with you next season here on YouTube, recapping all of the Crossroads League games for both men and the women once we get into league play, which will be happening at least, I'm pretty sure, by at least mid-November. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. And then, of course, for next year's national tournament, this year was such a success being able to do a prediction of teams that would get in, maybe teams that wouldn't get in, talk about the RPI as well as the ARC rankings, and not just that, but be able to fill out a tournament bracket and show you, my national tournament picks, who I have winning it all. So I'm still going to do that next year, and I'll definitely do more homework next year on that, talking about going into, I'm going to have to probably, put notes on my iPad or something, talking about, specific players, but in terms of player sizes from, team records and conference records and which girls, have the size advantage, whether it's, forwards or point guards that have done really well and that sort of thing. Do a little bit more homework on that so I can better predict next year's national tournament. So I didn't do bad this year. It was a lot of fun, so I definitely plan on doing that again next year. I got a lot of positive feedback from me doing that this year, which I greatly appreciate you taking the time to give me the positive feedback. I know I've gained a few new subscribers, which again I greatly appreciate. Of course, that's obviously not the most important thing, but again, I greatly appreciate that. So thank you so much for tuning in with me this season for Matt's Sports Talk, and this is my final YouTube episode of this season. I really look forward to having you tune in with me next season once we get into Crossroads League play coming up the middle of November, where we'll be recapping all of the Crossroads League games for both the men and the women. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, the big national tournament preview and showing you my official bracket. I'm still going to do that next year, and obviously give recaps from all the Crossroads League schools that made the national tournament after each and every round. Still going to do recaps for that. Still going to show you my updated women's tournament bracket after each round, just like I did this year. So again, make sure that you stay tuned for all of that. And also, if you did enjoy this video, or if you've been enjoying these videos over the last 2.5 months, please either like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Any one of those options helps me out greatly, and I appreciate any feedback that you provide me. So again, thanks so much for watching all these videos here on YouTube this year. Have a great rest of your day and a remainder of your week, and God bless.